Alright, so I had a comment about changing the governor out, and when you pull the side cover, the cam gets stuck and then the push rods end up falling out. So what you have to do is you got to take the valve cover back off. You're going to have to take off this locking nut, just loosen it up, loosen this, and then you'll slip the rod back in. Now after you get the rod back in, now you said that you didn't have compression, so the reason you don't have compression is because you got these too tight. You're holding the valve open. So you need a set of these. Get them any auto parts store, or you may have them, I'm not sure. Now they say factory is a 0.005 with a 0.007, but if you look in the threads and stuff like that, a lot of guys do a 3 for the intake and 5 for the exhaust. Now if you do this, you gotta get it to where it's close, because it's real easy, especially on these motors. The valve springs are so weak on these motors that it does not take much to hang one of these open. But basically you want, say, the 3, and then you go to your intake, which is this one. You want this to be able to slip in here. See if I can do this like this. And by the way, I do set mine to 3 to 5. 5 for the exhaust, 3 for the intake. But what you want is screw this down, this bottom one, until you get just a little bit of drag, where you can still slip it in there easily, but there's a little bit of drag pulling on it. And you can see now that there's some drag right here, and guys think for some reason that this is way too loose. It's not. It's just these springs are just, there's not a lot of force with these springs. So your rocker, sorry, brain fart, your rocker is going to be pretty loose feeling, but with a 3, you'll feel that it's got a little bit of drag, and you can see it's kind of pulling this back and forth. Once you do that, then all you got to do is just hold this down. Now, when you tighten this lock nut up, sometimes it can actually push on this, so check it again. And if it is, then all you got to do is just back it off a little bit and then re-tighten it back down. But like right now, if I tighten this down holding, and it's a 9/16 for this and a 10 for that. But now if I take this 3 back and try to stick it in there, you can see it's kind of hard to stick back in there. So I have to loosen that just a little bit, because even that right there, that is pushing down on that valve. So what I do is unloosen it, back this off a little bit, and then re-tighten it down. And I just do this until I get it to where it slips in there easily, but there's still some drag going on. Still too tight. So I'll back it off just a little bit more, tighten it back down. It's close. I can back it off just a little bit more. Try that right there. Yeah, there we go. You got a little bit of drag, but you can stick it in there easily, and you're not trying to, because these are very thin, so you'll know if it's too tight, because these will try to bend. If you're bending it trying to put it in there, it's too tight. You just want it to where it has just a little bit of drag, and you can slip it in easy in there. Now, since I know it's going to be good, now I'll crank this down. And now the intake's done, and you can see that it's got some wobble to it. Like I said, some people think that that's too much wobble, but you can't tighten that up because the springs are just that soft. There's not that much tension. So Now, and then you just do the same thing for the exhaust, except I'm going to use the 5. And so I can turn this. I want to get this motor. I'm kind of glad I'm doing this because I've been wanting to get this motor going again, because I got an idea for a new carb setup, because the PZ just did not work with this. This head's been ported and everything, and I think the carb I have coming that I ordered this morning, I think is going to be a really good fit for this motor. But same thing again, slip it in there. Kind of right there, we got a little bit of friction. Now tighten it down, and then, like I said, same process, just and now we'll check it again, and it slips in and out. That one I happened to get first time. So yeah, that's basically what this is a feeler gauge, by the way. I don't know if I said that. If you're pulling your governor out and you accidentally knock the push rods out because the cam slipped out with the side cover, it happens. This is how you're going to put it back together. The reason you don't have compression is because these are just too tight, and it's really easy to do on these motors. Like I said, you can see how loose these are, and that's where they're supposed to be set at. So you just need to set a feeler gauge. The intake's going to be a 0.03, and the exhaust is going to be a 0.005, and then 10 millimeter and 9/16, and your motor should run pretty good as long as you get that. So, and like I said, make sure that they slip in there nice and easy and have just a little bit of drag. So I hope you guys are having a good day. And also want to mention, I have a video on this bike that'll be probably a day or so. I'm working on it right now. I took the transmission off Jessica's bike, put it on this bike, and now I'm able to shift through every single gear. It actually is kind of fun to ride, and I never really built the bike for speed. I'm trying to be like 35, 40 mile an hour. I don't really want to go crazy fast with the 700C rims. I just want a nice little cruiser basically out of that. And the fact that the pit bike motors they got a flywheel, kind of like this motor. They got the flywheel with the fan on it, so it's kind of nice that it cools the motor down, so it should make it a pretty good, just a little cruiser. And I do have an intake for it and a speed carb I'm going to try on it, because that's supposedly the upgraded carb kit online, and I happen to have the intake and carb. So after we run it, we'll swap that and see if it gains any more out just from doing that. So hope you guys are having a good day. Hit the like button, hit subscribe button, leave a comment if you guys want to help the channel out, link below. I'll see you guys in the next video.